Welcome back to Marvel's Boutique, everybody. How you doing? I'm Frankie. Today I decided to show you guys something that I was thinking about working on about 4 or 5 years ago. I was thinking about doing a toy documentary for my YouTube channel. This is way before I was doing anything with YouTube other than putting band stuff up. But I shot a couple scenes and I shot a couple mock trailers, and I really didn't know how to go about it. I had a couple people lined up to do interviews about collecting and stuff. Charlie from Anthrax and Sean Clark from Horror's Hollow Ground was a few of the guys that I asked, and they were both down with talking to me about it. They're my buds. And I just didn't know how to go about it. And then I think Toy Hunter came on TV. There was a toy show, or a couple toy shows that came up, and I was like, oh fuck, there's no original ideas. So I just kind of put it on the back burner and never really messed with it. But this is what I shot, and I thought you guys might like to see it. You collector guys can critique how bad I am at making documentaries. But anyway, I hope you like it. This is something a little different. I have the videos, so I thought I would post them so you guys can see them. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you later. I came up with the title because every time I was out in the wild and I saw something that I was wanting in my collection, I would do the Blackula voice. I need you. I need you. The cool thing about collectibles these days is with pop culture, they pretty much put a figure out for anything and everything. Such a wide variety to choose from. So many different great companies such as Sideshow, Hot Toys, NECA. The list goes on and on. It's almost overwhelming sometimes to just go on eBay and look and see all the things. And with the advent of social media, Facebook and Instagram, a lot of these companies, there will be ads in your feed, especially once they realize that you're into that, they'll bombard you with it. What I really want to know, and what I want to ask other collectors, is if they have the same neurosis that I have. When it comes to collecting, I can be very obsessive compulsive. I see something and I can't stop thinking about it until I get it. And it can be the grandest, biggest piece or the littlest thing, and it will give me the same feeling in my gut that I have to have that. Here's a brief look into my toy history. Growing up, my brother had an Evel Knievel figure with the wind-up motorcycle. It was really cool, and they went really fast. The thing is, we had long hair back then, and if you got your hair caught in that wheel, you were hurting. There was a whole line of them, but we only had the one thing. My favorite figure back then was Amigo 12-inch Incredible Hulk figure. It was awesome, but the knees broke, and my mom had to put bread ties in it to keep the joints together. It was kind of funny, but it was one of my favorites. We also had the Shogun Warriors Godzilla figure, which was super awesome. But then Star Wars came out, and that just blew me away. The movie was awesome. The figures were incredible, and it was life-changing as a little kid. It was insane. It was just insane. There's no other way to describe it. Empire Strikes Back came out, and I was blown away. I even got to meet Darth Vader at Sears when the toys came out. It was pretty incredible. We also had some of the Buck Roger figures, which weren't as cool, but the TV show was awesome. And the same with Battlestar Galactica. We had a couple of the figures, but we never had any of the ships. What was cool about the ships is they fired missiles, so you could have your battles with the missiles flying everywhere. But unfortunately, a 4-year-old kid choked to death on one of them, and I think there was like 17 other people that got hurt because of them. And because of that, they had to pull the toys, and the company got sued. And you can attribute that to why we never got the missile-firing Boba Fett, which would have been awesome. The Clash of the Titans line was awesome as well. I only had a couple of those. But then He-Man, Master of the Universe came out, and that first ad was just so funny. They were super awesome and a cool thing, and they came with little comic books, which was cool. My favorite line from my childhood was the G.I. Joe team. It was just amazing. I just had such a blast, and nothing compared to him at the time. We had other figures like Sergeant Rock, which were cool, and I love the comic, but they just didn't have the articulation, and they just didn't compare to G.I. Joe. I mean, you're not gonna compare to that. I mean, they had the swivel arm battle grip. How do you compare to that? I was also into the Eagle Force figures. They were little metal ones that were kind of cool. What's funny is I was into G.I. Joe, and my cousin was into the Transformers, but I never got into the Transformers. The closest thing I ever got into the Transformers was Mask, which was a cool cool line of toys. A-Team came out with their toys, and they were cool. I had to have them. That show was awesome. They had the bigger ones, and then the 3 3/4 figures as well. I saw the 12-inch Mr. T in a catalog, and I just had to have it. It was so cool. I also collected the Dungeons and Dragons line of figures, and I still have quite a bit of them left from back then. When I graduated high school, I went to work in Sparta, Illinois. There was a company there called Capital City Distributions, and that's where I saw a lot of the stuff that would form my opinions about toys. They sold to Diamond Comics, so I was off for a year, and then I worked there for another 3 years, and that's when I really started buying stuff and just starting a little collection here and there. But that's where I became aware of Hot Toys and Sideshow collectibles. And then years later, I finally bought my first Sideshow on purpose, which was the 12-inch Jason Voorhees from Part 2. And after that, that's when my collection started taking off, and I started putting serious money towards it. I know this is a little dodgy. This is the trailer that I made for the documentary. This was the old house we lived in before we bought our new house, and some of my stuff was in our garage because we didn't have no room, and I had mass dry rot, and I had mud dauber nests and some of my toys. My Son of Dracula, Lon Chaney Jr. figure had mud dauber nests in his cape, and I was highly agitated when I discovered that. So I started bringing my stuff in after that, much to my wife's dismay. But she was cool with it, actually. And that's pretty much all I did with it. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. The idea of trying to plan it was really fun. I don't know if I'll ever mess with it again, but I still want to do interviews with some of those guys just to get their input on collecting, and if they're crazy like me, because I get so obsessively compulsive when I see stuff that I really want, and it's nerve-wracking and stupid, but I do it. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Please check out my other socials, and I appreciate so much you guys watching. Please take care.